Good morning, day 14 on the Continental Divide Trail. Today, I'm starting my walk towards Pie Town a couple days out. We have a lot of road walking to do and a little bit of trail, so let's hike.
My name is Michelle Bentley. I'm a retired Houston firefighter and empty nester who loves to get out and explore God's beautiful creation. For years, I've dreamed of hiking from Mexico to Canada on the roughly 3,100-mile Continental Divide Trail, the most remote and rugged of the long-distance trails in the United States. This year, with the support of my amazing husband, I'm beginning this epic solo journey. I love to share my adventures, so come and hike with me.
So this is what most of today is going to look like. Probably not going to be doing a whole lot of videoing in this section, but I'll be checking in from time to time. Such a windy night last night. Whew. But it seems to have died down a little now. So while I'm road walking here, I thought I'd take a second to talk about the slogan of the CDT, which is embrace the brutality. And we were talking about it yesterday with some other hikers. But man, that is so true for this trail. Man, the CDT throws a lot of obstacles at you, from just hot, exposed terrain, challenging terrain, challenging route finding. Gosh, the trails, even for people that don't get blisters usually like me, they just tear up your feet. You've got long water carries at times, questionable water sources. Just seems like each section throws you a new challenge. But if you really embrace it, and there's so much beauty, like everywhere. It's so worth it, but it just takes a lot of grit to get through this. And today is like a new type of brutality. We have, between where I am now and Pie Town, and then the next town is Grants, it's mostly road walking. And from Pie Town to Grants, a decent chunk of that is actually like paved highway walking. So believe it or not, road walking is a lot harder on the feet because your foot placement is the same over and over, 55,000 plus steps a day. And so it really fatigues the feet carrying heavy pack. And mentally, it's very challenging too because there's not much variation for long distances. So a new type of brutality to embrace, but I'm looking forward to it, and still beautiful surroundings, beautiful morning. Very thankful to be here. I'll check in later. Man, this road has been like really busy. There have been all these fire vehicles and tankers and some private vehicles coming by. And so this U.S. Forest Service guy just pulled up next to me and said, "Hey, I'm sorry the road's so busy today, but they're breaking down their entire base camp from a fire incident they were working in the Gila, the one that almost had me have to reroute, but reopen. So they've concluded the incident, and we're going to have a lot of traffic. So hopefully I can get down this road to where I turn off on my trail before all of it starts coming through, because it's already been kind of, it's annoying because it's a gravel road, and every time they come by it kicks up a ton of dust. My sinuses are going to be wrecked. My water source was out of this well. I had to take the cover off and reach down and get water out. But these poor cows, they're so thirsty, and their tank is almost dry. There's just a little bit of water and mud in the bottom, but they can't reach it very well. There is some water down the hill, but in a trough. But I poured the water I didn't need after I filtered on top of the little green cover, and they came over and were licking it, so I hope they figure it out, poor babies. So that well water that I just got, that's my last water source for 21 miles. So I drank half a liter, almost a liter there, and did my cooking for lunch so I don't have to use water tonight. And then I just scooped up 3 liters to take over the 21 miles. It's cool, a little cooler today, and it's supposed to be cooler tomorrow, so that'll help. But I just don't want to carry a ton of water because that's a lot of weight, and we're about to get back on the CDT, which gets off the road and starts climbing up onto the trail. So if I carry more weight, I need more water to drink because I'm exerting more energy, so it's finding that balance. But I think based off of what I've been drinking and that it's cooler, that 3 liters should get me to the next one. At least I won't die. Poor cows though, man, it is rough out here. So dry. So if you ever plan on this Gila alternate, just be aware, the road walk, it always looks so flat in the videos that I've seen, but this road walk wasn't flat. It was pretty cruisy in the beginning, but this last couple of miles has been a good climb. And it's about to end, I believe. I mean, really shortly, I'm about to complete the Gila alternate and join back with the CDT, but just a fair warning, it is a climb. You can see the slant of the terrain. Whew. All right, I'm almost up there. Here's where I rejoin Continental Divide, and here's where they're staging all these fire vehicles. Okay. I'm heading this way. Looks like a burn area. Well, at least I'm back to having some views again. Looks like for now the red line is still another road. All right, exiting the road onto this very rugged looking trail. Back on CDT. So this is a burn area from 2018, and a lot of the bushes that have grown in, they're like so thorny. Like here's one, all of these are little thorns, and there's some ones that are even worse that have big old thorns. Not very friendly. So the trail climbed up high on a ridgeline, but now it seems like it's taking me back down, probably to join where the Govina Canyon alternate is, but I'll be sticking to the red line. A lot of down trees. And a lot of wind. Pretty out there. One thing with burn areas is you get really unobstructed views. It's pretty exposed though. Oh, here's my trail. And it gets a little confusing with all the down trees. Alright, there we go. Wow, look out here. This low area. Came down from the top of this steep hill in that burn area, and this crazy wind. It was so sketchy. I was just worried one of those trees was gonna fall, and at the same time trying to keep my footing while I'm getting blown around by the insane wind. Glad it was kind of blowing me into the hill, because if it was coming down away, that would have been not good. It's my first horn-toed lizard. This thing can move. Ready? So cute. Climbing and descending and climbing and descending. That's what the trail's doing. Loose routes. There's the trail ahead. Ah! Funny rock formations in here. I got like 6 miles to go to get to camp. I'll be getting there probably right as the sun's setting, but I've got a big climb to do, and I really have to get that far because it's going to be the only shelter, hopefully in flat spots, shelter from the wind a little. So that'll give me a 30-mile day if I make it, and that'll be my first 30-mile day ever. And another reason I need to make it to that camp spot is because I'm doing what's called dry camping tonight, which means there's no water source near where I'm camping. I'm packing my water from the last water source, and it's 21 miles total to the next one. So I need to get, fairly close as I can to the next water source before camping, because I only packed out 3 liters. So I'm probably going to use at least 1.5 liters of that during all this climbing, because I'm going to get thirsty. I already did my meal that requires water for lunch, so no big deal there. And then it's going to be cool in the morning, so I won't need to drink as much. Okay, I gotta shimmy under this tree. I've come out to where the CDT joins the Govina Canyon alternate, but we decided we're gonna go ahead and stick with the CDT. So I'm heading up this climb. I'm not used to seeing things like this out here. Climb back up. Here's the view I earned with my hard climb. Very nice. Got a little ways left. The cool thing about that overlook was that that's my first time being over 9,000 feet on the Continental Divide Trail. So I'm trying to drop down a little because I think it's going to be chilly tonight, especially with the wind. And it sounds like the wind's forecast to be really strong again tomorrow. So I'll try to get some rest. And I am right now at 29.6 miles on my watch. And by the time I get to camp, I'm going to be over 30. So crazy. That's the biggest day I've ever done. I'm pretty excited, and ended it with, 1,000+ foot climb. So, and heavy water carry. So I'm feeling pretty proud about that. All right. I will maybe check in at camp, but if not, then I'll see you tomorrow. Y'all, I just woke up and I smell smoke. And we had really high winds yesterday and all night. So I just sent a message out to Steve on my Garmin to see if he can check, to see if there's new fires reported. But it's still dark out, and I won't have a light for like an hour. So he hasn't seen the message yet. I hope he gets it soon. But the smell's getting stronger, so I may have to pack up and just start moving. But I don't know which way to move, so we'll see.